Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans. Work that Elohim has decreed that we must do until the end of time. That is why it is very, very important that you have access to Radio Biafra app. Very, very important, as I say to you, that you have access to all the platforms actually broadcasting this very transmission this evening. We must pray. We must pray. Do not be downhearted, because there are difficulties. They are fighting. They are attacking us everywhere. Those who believe in terrorism, those who are financiers of terrorism, those who believe that the shedding of life, the wastage that is going on in the damnable zoological republic is a price worth paying in order to ensure that the population of Black people is permanently reduced. They are the ones working against us. They are the ones working with Facebook in order to frustrate the effort we are making to save lives. What we are doing here is to save lives, and there is nothing that they can do about it. We are going to pray, and pray we shall, because our enemies are numerous. We live in very difficult and dire times. Because of that, we dedicate all that we are, all that we can ever be, unto Elohim. I am going to pray in English language, not the language of heaven, that our listeners all over the world may partake in the miracle that is to come. And that very miracle is the restoration of Biafra. Because in times like this, our Creator, our Maker, our Lord, our God, our beginning and our end, the architect and the keeper of all that we could ever become, it is becoming very, very difficult, because at times like this, we do not know where to begin with our prayers. Sometimes even the art of praying appears to desert us, because our hearts are sore and it is aching. Many people are helpless, especially those of them in the north, the northern Christians in the Hausa lands, bothering the caliphate, bothering the Sharia enclave in the far north. We are continuing to cry out unto the Elohim for mercy. Your children in Biafra land, the communities who are under siege in Delta and also in Bayelsa, those who are suffering, those whose communities are being ravaged without any mercy nor intervention, we are calling upon the Elohim to do so for us. Then we can once again live in our land in peace, that you may heal our land, that our mothers may go to the front to frustrate the efforts we are making to ensure that Biafra is restored. The same thing that they did in late 60s, they are doing again today. But they have failed, and they have failed woefully. Therefore, I suggest that everybody should download official Radio Biafra app. TuneIn is carrying this very broadcast live and direct. And there are a whole host of other platforms that are relaying this very broadcast to the ends of the earth. You should not be discouraged. They are doing all they can to frustrate us. They cannot succeed. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Therefore, as I welcome you once again, I ask you to welcome those who are around you, that these our enemies are doing all they can to bring Biafra down, but we cannot let them. This very gospel I will preach this very night. Facebook, they are thinking, or they thought in their minds, that bringing down our pages, frustrating our efforts, will somehow make us to buckle. And the most painful aspect is that Facebook in Lagos is being run by Yorubas. We have made it very clear that our fight, our battle is not with the Yoruba race. If you know anybody, any Yoruba person that works for Facebook, it is in their interest to desist from what they are doing. After Tinubu must have served the north, it didn't stop the Fulanis from coming in to ravage Yoruba land. After the betrayal of the war, it did not stop the Fulanis from coming in and ravaging Yoruba land that led to the rightful formation of AMOTEKUN. Therefore, I say to every Yoruba person who is working for the enemy to please weigh the consequences of their actions. Because what Facebook is doing in Lagos is deplorable, it is reprehensible, it is evil, and should not be condoned by any right-thinking person. We must preach this very gospel. I must preach it. Because heaven has decreed it and it must be preached, and preached tonight. They know what they are afraid of. Everybody is terrified of IPOB. They are scared of Biafra. They are scared of the truth. But that very truth we must preach. As many times as they take us down, so shall we rise even stronger. As I said before, allow me to repeat. Everybody must be on Radio Biafra app. Everybody must go to TuneIn. Every platform online streaming this very broadcast, I expect IPOB admin to make sure that the link to receive this very broadcast is everywhere. Because we cannot allow our enemies to succeed. They have not succeeded before, and we do not intend to allow them to succeed tonight. They can do whatever they like. They can never, ever prevail over the coming of Biafra. Tonight, we preach this very gospel that the world may hear. Their duplicitousness, their heavy-handedness when they dealt with Jonathan, and now wearing kid gloves, when it came or when it has come to the turn of the Fulani cabal to rule the zoo. All the pressures that are applied when Jonathan was in power by Obama administration and David Cameron, the same Britain, that same Britain, all of it are now absent. And this evening, I take you line by line through what is happening, that you all may understand what is happening to you. Because if you do not know what your problem is, there is no way you can begin even to attempt to remedy it. We talk about the state of the murderousness and the damnable zoological republic they call Nigeria, which is a colonial contraption. I keep reminding our people of this every blessed day. If you do not understand that all the problems you're having started from the very moment Europeans came into Africa to create nations for you. If you have not yet understood that, then you are in one very almighty mess. I assure you. Intellectually, you are. You are not an intelligent person. Listen very carefully. All I am trying to encapsulate every problem Fulani headsmen, poor economic fortune, no good roads, no hospitals, nothing seems to be working. Life is stifled. And very painful for those who are unfortunate to be alive even. Your problem is Nigeria. Nigeria is the only problem you have. Nigeria is that demon. Nigeria is that person holding you, not your uncle in the village. Nigeria is that aunt in the village doing witchcraft. Nigeria is the witchcraft itself. Until you understand this as a sane person, you will not be able to solve your problem. That is our beginning. We'll talk about all the rest, the AMOTEKUN, the Hopus of the man, all the rubbish, the killings going on in the zoo that nobody wants to talk about. We'll talk about it tonight as well. I come again and I tell you this. Regarding the state of anarchy and lawlessness in Nigeria, the economic hopelessness, the daily, what I would call political skullduggery, so to speak, fear and terrorism, that is tormenting the lives of our people every blessed day. There is only but one simple solution, and that solution is the peaceful dissolution of Nigeria. And tonight I will prove it to the whole world that Nigeria is the problem. Anybody telling you about one Nigeria, that person is your enemy. Anybody telling you about one Nigeria, that person is the demon in your life. Do not listen to your pastors. Don't listen to the preachers around you. The only demon you need to face is not even Satan. The only demon you have in your life, I assure you, is Nigeria. That is the only demon you have in your life, nothing else. Only Nigeria is the demon you have in your life. And this evening, I will attempt to prove it. First of all, I am sure that some of you have your pen and your paper ready. You have them handy. Because you must note this very carefully. I am trying to lay the foundation of the stupidity of Nigerians. I'm trying to build a platform upon which will rest every of their thinking and why it will never ever work. Not in this life, not in the next life, not in the life after. Do not forget that all those that went about in 66 and 67 convincing that Biafra is the problem, Igbo man is your problem. From southern Kaduna all the way to even the coastline of Biafra land, those that they deceived the Yoruba race, they deceived each and every one of you. They told you, Igbo man is your problem, that Biafra is your problem. Today, who is trying to conquer Yoruba land? Today, who are the ones killing us and burning down our villages in Bayelsa? Who are the people who are now driving their cattle through our farms in Akwa Ibom and killing our people? The same people that lied to you that Igbo man is your problem, they are the ones today killing you. They are the ones that want to Islamize you. Do you know why? Because you love lies. Our people love to be told lies. You love lies so much. That is why you cannot stand up and realize that Fulani has an agenda, that some neo-colonialists in Britain, they have an agenda to enslave you for life. You will never come out of it. Instead of it to come out, you are even digging the hole deeper. You are falling into the abyss. Into the abyss. I want to prove it to you. Britain created Nigeria, and that in effect makes, listen carefully to me to what I'm saying. Britain created Nigeria, not you, not Ahmadu Bello, not Azikiwe, not Awolowo, no. Not a Yoruba man, not an Hausa man, not a Fulani man, not an Ijo man, not a man from Birom. He is not Baggy. This same man is not a Gala. He is not Jukun. This man is not from Efik. He is not Ibibio. He is not Igbo. None whatsoever. Absolutely none. Zero. They traveled for over 3,000 miles to come to a place where people already exist with their fine cultures and their tradition. They created something that is artificial and alien. The reason why you're dying today is because of Nigeria. The reason why people are being destroyed today is because of one Nigeria. You must understand this very, very carefully. And I will tell you how that is the case. Because as a Nigerian, you are a product of colonial Africa. You are an inferior human being to Europeans, because the same thing that Europeans have done in Africa, you cannot do in Europe when you travel to Europe. Secondly, when we talk about going our separate ways for very obvious reason, some neo-colonialists in the UK will be the first. The UK High Commissioner and their friends, they will be the people say, oh, what? I say, because I'm here to preach the truth. It doesn't, I don't care about the consequences. I have been mandated by heaven to speak the truth, and that's exactly what I'm doing. If you have any opinion to the contrary, please present it. That is what I'm doing. Now listen very carefully. Some neo-colonialists will be the first to tell us, oh, stick together. You are in one Nigeria. Enjoy your diversity. You have population. Look at China. They have it all. Because China is homogeneous. Almost one people. Almost one people. Isn't it? They have a history and culture stretching back nearly 6,000 years. Isn't it? Are we one people? Is Nigeria made up of one people? They're asking you to stay in, enjoy your diversity, enjoy your population. But then I ask myself this very simple question. The same Britain telling you to enjoy Nigeria, your diversity, your rich in culture, they should simply open their mouth and say, all of you should enjoy the crude oil and the gas coming from Biafra land. That will be far more palatable. That will be far more acceptable. We can see reason in it. But this lie about diversity, you're diversing with a Fulani headsman that is intent on killing you. You want to discuss diversity with Boko Haram? You want to discuss diversity and rich culture with ISIS in West Africa? You want to discuss diversity and rich culture with Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb? You want to discuss rich culture and diversity with bandits in the north? You want to discuss diversity and rich culture with people that have no regard for you. That Buhari is dead, they went to Sudan. Instead of them to come to the people and say, oh, we are one Nigeria, our head of state is no longer alive, what do? They went all the way to Sudan to go and bring somebody. That same idiot is preaching one Nigeria to you, and you are listening. Let's try and make it better. An animal is better than you because you cannot reason. And here on this platform, on this radio Biafra, that Facebook is trying all they can to shut down, that everybody is accepting bribe from Nigeria to try to close down. We are telling you the very simple truth. Britain said that we should enjoy our diversity in Nigeria. The population is there, the market can grow, the economy can grow. That's my Fulani economy. It can grow, you will do very well. And then I'm asking Britain, if that is the case, if there is this love of diversity, why have you decided to leave the European Union? You talk about diversity, embracing people from different cultures. But even in Europe, you are all Christians in Europe, so we are led to believe. You all practice free market economy, isn't it? You all believe in free trade. You all believe in capitalism. You even have more in common in Europe than we have all the various ethnic groups in the zoo called Nigeria will ever have. But you decided to leave Europe. They are Christians. They believe in democracy. They believe in the rule of law. Why have you decided to leave them? And in Nigeria that you created, you want us to fuse together with people who do not believe in democracy, with people who do not believe in the rule of law, with people who believe in terrorism and violence as a tool and as a means to advance their cause. I'm asking Britain. I want this stupid debate about diversity. You grow. If you look at all the countries of the world, those who are making it, they are big in number. Babash. How many people actually live in Liechtenstein? Do you know a place called Liechtenstein? I'm not even sure up to 500,000 people there. Are they not doing very well? Why don't they go and subsume themselves in one monolithic political superstructure? Why not? Why have they done it? We were in Switzerland a few months ago. Is Switzerland not free even from the EU? Why is it that people cannot reason? They claim they go to school, but they cannot reason. The problem, the foundation I'm trying to lay for you is this. What is good for the geese is also good for the gander. Let me ask you this very question. If being in one huge, large family with diversity is a wonderful thing, how come Britain is not staying in Europe till today? Why have they decided to leave on the 31st of this month? Why? Ask yourself these pertinent questions. Within it lies reason. Only then can you reason. Because right now, some of you are not reasoning very well. Look at Bishop Coker is complaining. The Christian Association of Nigeria is complaining. The Hausas in the north are complaining. Everybody is complaining. All we do is complain, 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 complain. And when the Yorubas did something about it with AMOTEKUN, when they finally did something about it, you have people with the temerity, the guts to stand up and question what they're doing. The same thing that we did with BSS. The same thing that we did. It is quite pathetic that today, even Ohanese is now congratulating Yoruba people for what they have done. But they cannot achieve the same level of unity in their own household. Why is that? Because they have spent nearly 50 years as boy to Fulani. They don't have the moral impetus to stand up and speak. They hide behind Yoruba, behind AMOTEKUN. Oh, you've done well. And nobody is asking them. When your people, when IPOB floated the same security outfit, what did you do? They won't ask the question. How can they ask? They will never ask. This evening, we must educate the world. We must let them understand what is happening, that this is Radio Biafra will preach the truth. Here, everything happening in the zoo, Nigeria, from AMOTEKUN to people now, is from this platform, from this Radio Biafra. Without Radio Biafra, without IPOB, there will be no restructuring, there will be no AMOTEKUN, nothing. Fulani will pick you up one after the other. That's a fact of life. Britain loves diversity. We think there is a strength in unity and diversity. You die. How, if there is strength in unity, ask Britain, United Kingdom, if there is strength in unity, why aren't you in the European Union? Why did you decide to leave? There's no terrorism. Germans are not killing French. French are not killing the Belgians. No. There is peace everywhere and that's prosperity. Yet Britain left. And you're asking us to stay in a cauldron of hell. In a hell. Oh my God. Where people are being slaughtered on a daily basis, the courts no longer operate. The police and the army is an extension of a terrorist movement. You're asking people to stay in such a union. But you left European Union that is working. I'm sure after tonight they will not talk about unity again in Nigeria. I'm not sure Britain will talk about it anymore. That is why we preach the gospel of truth, honesty, that the whole world may bear us witness. Facebook is wasting their time. They are wasting their time. If you think that because when we preach, if we see maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people listening, we say, things are going bad, you're dreaming. After this broadcast, it will be recorded, it will be pushed to the ends of the earth. Everywhere we'll play it on Radio Biafra, FM, relay stations in Biafra land and in Lagos. Everywhere the world will keep listening. So you are wasting your time. You are collecting anyway of a Fulani regime. They're so stupid, they'll pay money to anything. To stop Biafra, they will give money to any idiot to stop Biafra. But you have never succeeded in the past. How can you succeed now? Do you know how learned we are? We're only showing you what we're capable of until we march, and then you will understand. That Kaki and Leda know the same thing. You soon know. We are going our separate ways, not because we hate anybody, but because we want to preserve our lives. Nigeria has never been good for anybody. It was not good for the Hausas. Since the Fulani people came into Nigeria, Nigeria has never been good for anybody. They dealt with the Hausa. Those ones who foolishly joined them to deal with the others, all the way to Yoruba. Yoruba joined them to work against Biafra. But now, as you know, that is why prayer, let me not say prayer before Khan will say prayer will solve everything. No, prayer without work is meaningless, of course. Now, listen. The reason why everybody is waking up now is because of the gospel being preached on Radio Biafra. That is a fact of life. If you like, deny it all you can within you. That is a fact of life. That rejected stone, that Biafra that was kicked to the curb, that same Biafra they lied against, that same Biafra they mocked. It is that same Biafra that is now raising the consciousness to allow them to mount a credible resistance against the expansionist tendencies of the Fulani Janjaweed. We must continue. Britain is telling you, remain in one Nigeria. You are all good together. We are being slaughtered every day. Have you then noticed what happened during Jonathan's regime? Go and Google it. How Britain, how America under Obama, EU, we are issuing statements every day. Government must do something. You must stop this. But now there is so much killing. Pim, you don't hear from them anymore. None of them is talking. Do you know why? Because their favorite people are in power. Despite the fact that everybody knows, even from what transpired a few days ago at Buckingham Palace, where Jubril was missing, he didn't know. They would ask, if they had known, they would say that the etiquette demands that you take off your hat when you come. The cosmetic people, what do you call it? The makeup artists would have done something marvelous before that. They never knew. Once Jubril came and they told him, you have to take off your hat, he ran away from that very event. And people are going, oh, Buhari is back. He's at Asarok. He's in Asarok now. Buhari is back. From Channels TV, Buhari is back. From one people or the other. Fools. They will never ask. These are journalists. They will never ask a simple question. Why did you not attend that very banquet? They won't ask. That's why we call them a zoo. They will never ask the very serious and difficult questions that genuine answers may be sought. They never ever do it. He said, oh, it's Biafra. They are causing trouble. IPMU wants to cause trouble for Biafrans in diaspora. They want. That is how foolish they are. But we don't blame them. They are products of the zoo, and they're very sad indeed. Now think about this. If belonging to a political union is always right, because of the advantages of large populations and diversity, why is Britain leaving the EU? Simple question. EU offers a larger market with bigger population, with access to markets and tariff-free exchange of goods and services. Why is Britain leaving? If being in a big family is very good. They're not being killed, though. We that are being slaughtered every blessed day, our mothers being raped and killed in Ebonyi State. Because they have killed us so much, we are now immune to evil. They are killing our people, we are immune to evil. People are dying, being beheaded every blessed day. And the people are going about their businesses as if nothing is happening. Why would Britain want to leave the EU? That is the underlying problem of a Nigerian, the inability to reason. Inability to reason. This person asking me to run towards that very cage with a lion in it. Why is he running to the one with antelope inside it? Why don't he run to the one that lion? He said, oh, that the lion is very friendly. Go and embrace the lion. But he himself is running towards an antelope. But he's encouraging you to run towards the lion. So you'll be consumed. So you'll be consumed. Very sad indeed. Britain have some issues with the EU. People will be wondering, why am I going through this very route this evening? I want to establish the very basis and foundation for our discussion this evening. As simple as ABC. I want to let you understand that the way white people reason is different from how Black Africans reason. That is why we never ever record any progress. Individually, we are fine. We are very brilliant. We have good scientists. We have people who can make things happen individually, but collectively as a unit. Once you assemble together as a unit to do something positive for your people, you will see the enemy. They will come. They will plant somebody inside you, as they are now doing in even through IYC of all places, of all movements. They will plant one idiot. They are talking rubbish. And as you, I don't know where our people, most, I would not say blacks in general, but mostly people that claim they are Nigerians, I don't know why they gravitate towards idiocy a lot, far more quickly than they can reason. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's entirely up to them. I don't know why. Britain does not want to lose its hold over Nigeria. You know, as a creator, you know, you're an inventor. As Innocent is, you know, do you think Innocent will allow you to come and use a sledgehammer and destroy all his cars and the warehouse? Of course, he's doing something nice. Do you think that Innocent, Innocent Motors is his own creation? He won't allow you to destroy it. Nigeria is the creation of Britain. Britain doesn't want to see its child go back to how it's supposed to be. Even to grow up, it won't allow it to grow up. But some of you don't know that, do you? Every day, we've not had light for 2 years, and we are paying NEPA bill, and that's the end of it. The solution is in the disintegration of Nigeria. So you can go to your village. You can hold your brother or your sister responsible for not doing it. And I keep saying this thing to people. If Biafra were to stand today, do you think anybody will come and loot government funds and get away with it? You can't. But if you touch somebody that, oh, you don't, no, he's APC, you don't prosecute him. Like who opposed them? They accused him of embezzlement, of stealing money, and then all of a sudden he's now the governor of Imo State via Fulani Sharia ruling. All that is forgotten. Is that how you advance a country? Is that how you move people forward? Of course, the answer is no. And you know the answer is no. But what are you going to do? Maybe you resort to the prescription of can, which is to fast and to pray. Dara. In Nigeria, Britain is encouraging everybody to be together as one. So it will be easier for the Fulanis to slaughter all of us. Then they will come in and they will share the oil and gas. That's why we are together. You don't know that? Are you that daft you don't know? That's what they're trying to do. They tried to come in. Let me tell you tonight so you note it down on your paper that I asked you to bring. Fulani tried to push through Benue into Ebonyi, and we stopped them. This IPOB stopped them. Some of you don't know. When we used to grow up, we used to make a joke and say to people, it is actually our people who are doing it. It's Biafrans who are doing it. So because we don't come out every day to announce what we are doing in Ebonyi. Oh, no, sorry. Because Yoruba paper hasn't carried it yet. That is why you think nothing is happening. Maybe I should allow them to come in and take all of you one after the other. Then you'll understand the amount of work and resources going into protecting Biafra land. AMOTEKUN only came yesterday. We've been there from the beginning. Why do you think they went to Yoruba land? They came to Biafra land. There was no way for them to penetrate. They traveled to Yoruba to see if they can come in through there. Now that route is also closed. You know what they're doing? They're using what I call the spine. They are coming along the banks of River Niger, trying to take a bit of some of the idiots in Delta, and coming into Bayelsa, where it seems to me there is a concentration of the highest, the greatest concentration of idiots we have is in Bayelsa. I say it without any apology to anybody. The highest concentration of idiots we have, talking about one Nigeria, is in Bayelsa. That's how stupid they are. They have never, some of them have never learned any lesson. They have not learned. They are like Ohaneze, they are like Pandev. They don't reason very well. This thing you are trying to do, this your one Nigerian nonsense you're doing now. Did Zik try it? Did it work? I will try it. Did it work? Do some of you know that Babangida invited Awo to come and write him a thesis on how to make Nigeria better? Awo said no. It's too late. You can't repeat. Do some of you know that? You don't know. Go and ask Babangida, he will tell you. He invited Awo to come and be part of their nonsense, new Nigeria to rebuild. Awo said no, it's too late. I won't be part of it. Some of you are talking about one Nigeria. When your DSS handler comes and gives you peanuts, 1 or 20,000 naira, you run to you call maybe a Nation newspaper correspondent in Yenagoa. You give him 4,600 naira and say, oh, that's something. IPOB cannot. Don't come here again. IPOB is Bayelsa. Talking rubbish. That is how foolish some of them are. So foolish, it is unbelievable. So hopeless. But you're there. Your villages are being burnt. Your communities are being sacked every blessed day. All you can do is to say, IPOB is not welcome here. So you want to show that somebody from Asarok will say, that Sabo is doing very well for us. Call him, let's make him another hope. That's how foolish we are. And in the end, they will disappoint you. As they will do to Bola Ahmed Tinubu very soon, his eyes will be open. He thinks that he can use AMOTEKUN as leverage. So they will say, okay, for them to keep an eye on them so they will not turn to a very formidable regional militia, let's give it to Tinubu so he can control them. That's rubbish. That's his game he's playing. But he is grossly mistaken. Britain is helping the Fulani to conquer and destroy everybody in Nigeria. That is a fact of life. If they say they're not doing that, they must change their utterances and their ways. They must attack this Jubril government the same way they attacked Jonathan. US must do the same as well. All those lily-livered wet Democrats who are in the USA under Obama are attacking Jonathan on a daily basis about Boko Haram. Today, there is no law. It's not just Boko Haram. There is chaos and lawlessness everywhere. People are dying on a daily basis. And we are telling you, you may find it difficult to accept, but I am telling you that the solution to your problem is the dissolution of Nigeria. Gas, oil and gas is your problem, isn't it? We'll give it to everybody for free. We're not doing anything with it. and God in heaven is my witness. We will give you oil and gas for free. Yoruba, you get oil and gas for free. Middle Belt, oil and gas for free. Anybody who wants it. We don't need the damn thing. We don't need it for anything. We have our brain, which is the greatest natural resource. We must make this abundantly clear to everybody. In case you think we are fighting for Biafra because of what is buried in the ground, then you are even more daft than the Boko Haram recruit. Remember how they removed Britain? How they removed Jonathan? This Britain I'm talking about. Remember how Britain removed Jonathan from power? Cameron and Obama. And I told Jonathan he was going to lose. I tell you, he was a gunner. Obama wanted a fellow Islamic fundamentalist to be in power. Did they get it or not? Today, what is happening today? What is happening today? Remember all the pressure that they put Jonathan under. What is happening today? I'm asking you. Boko Haram is busy. Not just Boko Haram. Boko Haram is coming from the northeast. ISIS in West Africa from the northwest. Then from in the middle from Chad is Al Qaeda in the Maghreb. Nobody's saying anything. The same forces that conspired to remove Jonathan today, they are mute. Nobody's talking. They will bribe Reuters, they will bribe AFP, they will bribe one idiot somewhere in Europe to write a very glowing article. The hard general is trying. They have been depleted. They are sitting in their fancy offices in the West, writing rubbish about what they know little or nothing about happening in the zoo, Nigeria. All because the more you are all together, the more they target you, the more they eliminate you, the more Fulani is advancing with their empty brain. All they have is AK-47 to decimate you. And then they will sit down with Britain and share the loot. You will get the oil, I get the gas. Because then they have nothing upstairs. All they need is just sign contract. What do they have upstairs? I keep asking this question every blessed day. What do they have upstairs? The answer is zero. Can anybody tell me what Sokoto is contributing to Nigeria? Zero. Katsina, zero. Only an imaginary. And now they are opening their borders and people are flooding in. Whereas in the south, all the borders are closed. And some of you are moving about, talking about one Nigeria as if you're daft. You talk about one Nigeria as if you are mentally deranged. You are mentally unstable. The borders in the north are open. The borders in the south are closed. And all of you are there. Just say, yes, we are in one Nigeria. Let's fast and pray. Unbelievable. I don't know the type of God that made you people. Common sense, some of you don't have. Common sense. Just reason. Ask yourself that question. Why would this regime of Abba Kyari, because of course Abba Kyari who's in charge, why would they shut the borders in the south? To make life difficult for you. They open the borders in the north. They lied against them. I'm not here to hold brief for Jonathan. Some of you know how I feel about him, but I'm just trying to draw an inference to make people understand the double standards that they are fake patriotism from the north always portrays. Fake patriotism. They don't love Nigeria, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nigeria, my fruit. Jonathan was removed. Obama was very happy. Today, people are dying and nobody is doing anything about it. Absolutely nothing. Nobody is doing anything about it. Very, very sad indeed. Before I come to AMOTEKUN and all the related happenings in the zoo called Nigeria, let me remind our people of a Joe Robi Soko and the Shekiri extraction that all the lies Fulani Britain fed everybody through Yoruba newspapers. I'm not attacking Yorubas, of course, I'm just speaking the truth. All the lies that we are fed to our fathers from the riverine areas about Igbo domination, where are we today? All those who are saying, hey, don't allow them, they'll dominate you. Who is now dominating you? You see, people don't learn from history. And every time I come on Radio Biafra, I keep pointing out this very fact, inescapable fact. You don't learn from history. You don't learn from history. You don't learn from history. I'll give you two simple examples. Adakaboro fought a very good fight, to be honest with you. Fought a very good fight. He was asking for independence of Niger Delta, which, believe you me, I support. That is why people must know this. If there is one thing about the culture that I was raised on, that Igbo culture, is this. If you want to pack out from your village and go somewhere and establish, they would, in fact, they will hold a party for you and tell you goodbye. That's how we are. That's why you have autonomous communities. Do you have people anywhere else in the zoo that have autonomous communities? No. We can wake up in the morning and say that this Ezinachi community, they want to divide into two. In fact, they don't want to ask Ezinachi again. We'll tell them goodbye. Let's have fun. Let's have party and goodbye. That's no problem. They lied to everybody. They lied to everybody, telling you, because you know what they lied to you about the Igbos? This is one thing that some people don't know. They lie to you because they know that it is only, I'm saying this, and when I say it now, they'll say, oh, they're turning the Biafra thing to an Igbo affair. The same thing you can say in England or in Britain. Is Britain an English affair? Or will you go to Germany? Will you say that Germany is a Bavarian affair? Can you say that? No, you can't. But when it comes to Biafra, they will say, some mischief makers will say it's about the Igbos. No, it is not. I want to tell you this. The reason why they lied to you, both the thieves and the Ibiras, the Jukun, all of you from the Middle Belt coming down, and with your Willings Commission in the South, the reason why they lied to you is because they know it is only the evil people that open your eyes so you can see the truth. They don't want you to. Britain don't want an Igbo man somewhere because we know what they know. You don't know that? That is why. So the best thing they did was to go before us to poison the minds of people against the occupants of what you call the Southeast. But thankfully, the likes of Philip Effiong saw the light. But Ken Serewa did not see the light. Adakaboro fell at the hands of the North. Ken Serewa did not learn anything. Ken Serewa also fell at the hands of the North. And some of the idiots now acting as informants within a Joy Youth Council, informants, they are making the same mistake. They will also fall. The more you rat on IPOB, the more your communities are being destroyed. Odi was destroyed. 2 other communities have been destroyed. We'll go through it later. Yet you don't learn anything. The same people they are claiming is coming to dominate you are the same people fighting and dying to save you. And you claim you have brain in your skull. I very much doubt it. I speak the truth. Always. The truth. Always. And do you seriously think, let me ask, do you seriously think that if you're in your little enclave doing something about, I know about the killings that took place around, is it Omoku or what? I think the deputy sent it to me. The killings that took place, you know, when they kill us this day, they say it's cult related. They'll be wasting people's lives. They'll be telling it is cult related. Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. It was something that happened in a place, they said there's between Ospak, whatever rubbish that means, Ospak, and a place called Ozide community. You know, the boundary between Imo and River State. These are all the same people. Ohaji especially, all the way to Omok. All the same people, one people. But the Fulani man will come and tell you, oh no, we are Niger Delta. You are Niger Delta. Don't allow them. Oh. But it's your brother, answering the same name as you, speaking the same language. I don't know what went into us. Let us proceed very, very speedily, please. We have come to the news the way it should be. Now, these are the people, or should I say some of them, that complained that IPOB is here. IPOB is coming to Bayelsa. It is not Biafra. Okoko. He's actually a Yoruba boy, or Lorogun Kennedy. From his name, you know he's Yoruba. He's not even from a Joland. And IYC allowed such a church rat to occupy a position. You are allowed to occupy a very important position in Biafra land. The Judge Youth Council for the Central Division, based in Jenego. I have nothing against Yoruba, but everyone should go back to where they come from and contest for whatever. I am a firm believer in that. In Bayelsa, they made a Yoruba man the IYC chairman. He's the one talking rubbish. And now let me remind him as to what is happening in Bayelsa so he will know. This is how foolish people are. There is a group called the Ijaw People Development Initiative. It is a human rights group. Let me read it for you, please, so you understand it very clearly and understand how foolish some people can be sometimes in this life. They are calling on the federal government to reconstruct Bilabiri 1 and 2 communities in Ekeremo local government area of Bayelsa State. What happened to Bilabiri 1 and 2? These are 2 communities. It is in Ekeremo local government area of Bayelsa State. This is for those who are talking nonsense. We don't want IPOB meeting here. This is for you, all of you. I want to showcase your idiocy, your stupidity to the world, so mankind can know how foolish you are and why Fulanis are killing you. This Keremo community is in Bayelsa State. It was burnt down by invading soldiers, claiming they are searching for criminals that killed 3 military personnel. It is now their signature. Burn down, kill, burn down, sack villages. Who are the soldiers doing the sacking and the killing? Oh, yes, you know. They are from Fulani, and they are from the north. They are the same people that went to this same Keremo government area and said to them, Igbo man is coming to dominate you. Don't support Biafra. Okay, the same Fulani has come today and burnt down not 1 community, but 2 communities. Complete destruction. Let us continue. Mr. Austin Ozobo is now threatening that if nothing is done within 30 days, that they will stop the oil flow from the coastal region of Biafra land. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It urged the government to investigate the atrocities committed by the soldiers and bring the culprits to book. In your dreams, you know it will never happen. Stop wasting your time talking as if you have no brain in your skull. It will never happen. Listen to what he had to say, a direct quote from him. These are the people who were fed the junk. Igbo man is your problem. Don't support IPOB. They want to break away Nigeria. Listen to what came out of his mouth. We have been disgusted. We have been disgusted and infuriated over the unlawful military invasion of Bilabiri communities. We condemn it in its entirety as it is barbaric, senseless, and unlawful. He went on to say, we Ijaws have been pushed to the wall and we have decided to call for a total shutdown of all oil facilities in the Niger Delta to protest against the continuing unlawful killing and burning of Ijaw communities if federal government fails to rebuild Bilabiri 1 and 2 within 30 days. Now, this was what Mr. Ozobo said. Of course, he's angry, and I respect his right to be very angry. But there is something our people need to understand. Blacks need to understand this very well, especially those who are living under dictatorships. There is something you must understand. When something happens to somebody and you keep quiet, it will come and happen to you. Why do you think the Yoruba set up AMOTEKUN? AMOTEKUN, I don't know the correct phonetics for it. Why do you think they set it up? Because the same thing that the Fulanese and the core Sharia North did to Biafra, they are now doing to the Yorubas. If the Yorubas knew that a day would come when they will have to raise an ethnic militia to defend their land against raping, killing, even if you had told them before that the daughter of a prominent Yoruba man will be slaughtered in the process, I'm sure that they wouldn't have been that, negative towards Biafra. But because it happened to other people, that's what Fulani does very well. Oh, it's not you, it's the other person. Can't you see? They are very bad. They are planning for your funeral. I am pointing all these things out because let me tell our people very clearly this. One, a job on its own cannot do anything to Nigeria. That is a proven fact. They will go on burning down communities, you will do nothing. But together as one unbreakable unit, they will fall. Now, let me give you a very simple example. AMOTEKUN is an instance. Had it been that one state, maybe Ekiti or Osun or Young, went alone to do their own thing, oh my goodness, they will bring the federal might to crush them. But once all the Southwest governors very cleverly, I respect them, I must tell you this, once they got together, and I know they wouldn't have gotten together if not for the likes of Paya Debanjo and Fani Kayode, of course. That is also a fact, to give them the liver and the mettle to do what they did. They realized, Yorubas are very clever, I must give them that. They realized that if we do this piecemeal by piecemeal, they'll pick us off. We must do it together as one block. And once they did it as one block, as one whole Yoruba, one, no dissension, it was sealed and final. The zoo government became handicapped. But let us attempt such a thing in the southeast or south-south. Believe you me, the governors will be in the meeting. Ipazu will get up, or Obiano will get up and say, I want to go ease myself. He will go into the toilet. He will put his phone, he will call Asorok and say, not tomorrow night, stop blaming me, come and hear what I'm hearing. Go. He will put his phone, he will call Asorok and leave his phone on and bring it into the meeting. So before you finish that meeting, Asorok will call Umahi and say, oh, I heard her in a meeting. And Umahi will say, no, sir, I'm not in any meeting. Oh. I want to inspect a new bridge they're building with Islamic bank money. And the meeting will be over. The meeting will be dead there and then. Look at the way they planned it in the West and executed it. I'm just drawing an inference, so I will let anybody planning anything, Niger Delta, Ejo, you are, write it on a piece of paper now. What is today's date again, please, for goodness sake? Today is the 24th, isn't it? Of January 2020. Write it down. You are wasting your time. Many more communities will fall. There is nothing you can do about it because you have traitors in your midst. The capital of treachery in Biafra land is in Bayelsa. Treachery upon treachery. You allowed APC to come in. What do you expect? Has the governor spoken? The answer is no. How can he talk? He is a puppet of the caliphate. How can he speak? Some of you don't know anything. You don't know nothing. Absolutely nothing. Your brains are empty. How can you be talking about a job? You cannot stand on your own. You cannot defeat this monster. Fulani is a monster. You cannot defeat them. Standing and I want to stand as a John fight. So you have not learned from Adakaboro. He broke away and they killed him. You've not learned from Kenseriwiwa. He broke away and they killed him. Don't you understand it? Do you need to go to another primary school to understand this? You want to be re-educated to understand what is happening. But they told you, Igbo man is your problem. Fight Biafra. And you fought Biafra. Today, those that asked you to fight Biafra, they are coming for you. They are coming. They cannot stop. It is in their DNA to conquer, to overrun, to subjugate, and to lay waste. It is in their DNA. They cannot help it. They are like mad people. Enraged mad people. They can no longer control their emotions. They can no longer control their reflexes and their actions. That is how they are as a people. They can no longer help it. Buhari died to tell you how evil they are. They went to Sudan and recruited somebody to carry out this very program. That's why they're crying over AMOTEKUN. Not because they don't like it, but because it is going to halt their advance to the Atlantic Ocean. We just, who are you? You are nothing. The same way that Igbo is nothing. The same way Ibibio is nothing. They can come to Efik and they pick you 111. Nothing will happen. But together as one, this same East, this same Biafra, we are impregnable. Common sense and common logic. Some of you don't know. People open their mouth and they talk pure rubbish. That is what have planted Islam in Bayelsa. Islam is in Ijaw land. You think they are doing it because of the love of Prophet Muhammad? Is that what you think? You're so daft if you think so. Some of you are converting to Islam in Ijaw land because they are setting you up as stooges. You are the tools. You are the willing tools they will use to advance to the Atlantic Ocean without you knowing it, because you're daft. You're not intelligent enough. I must tell you the truth because nobody else will. And now, if you know what I've done, if you know what I've done wrong, you tell me. I tell you the truth. You may not like it, but it is the truth. It is of no use sitting in front of this thing. You cannot do nothing to Fulani. Fulani will ravage your land. You can't do nothing. Jonathan, they come up with you. I can't do anything. What can he do? He's like, go on. The more they kill, the more he'll tell about one Nigeria. And people are dying. People are dying every blessed day because you don't know your priorities. You cannot get them right. Time and time again. Nobody in Nigeria believes there is a problem unless they are affected. Remember Khan. Khan should be the people advocating for Biafra to come. Khan should be the people at the forefront of making sure that the whole world is aware of what is happening. And the only solution is to break Nigeria into pieces. Nothing else will work. Nothing else will matter. If you divide Nigeria, believe you me, Boko Haram cannot come down to the south. No Fulani headsmen. Never, ever, ever again. But if you remain in one Nigeria, listen very carefully. Once you're in one Nigeria, they will always anchor their argument on one dead constitutional provision or the other. Freedom of livestock. We must move our livestock. And meanwhile, they have consolidated their hold on the army, on the police, on customs, on every paramilitary that is carrying a gun. That is why they don't want anybody else to carry a gun. You think they're stupid? They don't want you to carry a gun. They have Hizbah. They have civilian JTF in the Northeast. They have all these things all over the place. They have Sharia police, but they will never allow you to carry a gun. Only them can. Because a gun is an instrument of coercion. If you make noise, they will kill you as they killed a boy in Imo State. Nobody is talking. Nobody is moved. No, absolutely no, only IPOB.